Hello, my name's Rachel Norris and I specialise in making wirework jewellery. A couple of my pieces are shown here, showing the complex floral and natural inspired pieces that I love to make, and I'd love to inspire more people to make wirework jewellery. Today we're going to make some very basic pieces, links and loops and clasps to help you get started, and I really hope that you'll enjoy making some of the pieces today. When you make wirework jewellery, bits of wire can sometimes fly off, so I do recommend wearing eye protection. Even reading glasses are enough just to help protect you from flying little bits of wire. Three basic tools which are absolutely essential for making wirework jewellery are the wire cutter pliers, and if you can get something, pliers called flush cutter pliers are even better because they cut with a nice smooth clean edge. And then chain nose or snipe pliers or pointed end of pliers are brilliant for actually manipulating and shaping your wire. And round nose pliers are absolutely brilliant for doing the curves and little curls and spirals. So these are the three essential wirework tools that you will need to make your jewellery. We're going to make some very basic clasps. They're lovely and easy to make, made with 1.5mm diameter wire and also with 1mm wire, which you can actually get away with using if you can't get hold of the 1.5. We're going to make the figure of 8 loop end of the clasp first of all, and taking a short length of 1.5mm diameter gauge wire, about 8 centimetres long, we're going to get started. Taking the round nose pliers, gripping fairly near the end of the wire, start to make a little slight curve one way, about 1 centimetre or 2 long, and then grip with the round nose pliers and start to move them round as you form a little loop. Then a little bit further along, pop the wire around the round nose pliers and then pull it round, gently moving until the wires cross over and you start to see the figure of 8 forming. Take the round nose pliers out and get the wire cutters. Then we need to cut the wire as close to this bar of wire here as you can, using flush cutter pliers with the flat edge meeting the wire that you're going to cut, so you get a nice smooth cut. Take away your excess, and then taking the round nose pliers again, just pull this wire, manipulate it so it's back towards the cross wire as much as you can. We've got the figure of 8 there. Now you can leave it like that, but I like to work harden the wire slightly by hammering it. So we're actually just going to place it on a hammer and block. This is another thing, another set of tools that you can use just to help work harden your wire, because wire is very soft when it starts. It's been designed that way, and as you work harden it, it becomes more substantial, stronger and more fixed in place. A few gentle taps with the wire will work harden this. But if you want to create texture, you can actually tap a little bit more to flatten the wire beautifully, and it'll make a lovely effect. Now to make the hook end of the clasp, you take another length of 1.5mm diameter wire, and we start to make the loop at one end first of all, gripping fairly near one end of the wire. Bend the wire sharply in one direction, then grip about 2/3 the way down the round nose pliers and rotate with your hands and wrist to make that first loop. And then we're going to start to make the shepherd's hook detail at the other end. Grip in the centre and slightly bend to a slight angle the first part of the shepherd's hook. Then taking it along about 2 centimetres and about 2/3 the way down the round nose pliers, bend it around the round nose pliers to create the large hook. Now we want to make the little curl at the other end. I've straightened out the wire a little bit. Placing the wire about a third of the way down the round nose pliers, like in between the 2 points, pull the wire round and you can start to make a little loop at that end. The last thing to do is trim off the excess using flush cutter pliers, again making sure the flat end is meeting the wire that you want to wire end that you want to create, so it creates a sharp and clean an edge as possible. If you're worried about any wire ends cutting or being sharp, you can actually use a little emery board from a nail kit to actually soften the ends, but because we're going to tuck these in nicely, it won't actually cut or hurt you. Use a round nose pliers just to pull in towards the end, so you can actually bend that wire so it meets the little curve of the shepherd's hook. Then using flat nose pliers, just squash these in so they're nice and flat. And the final stage, if you want to progress to this, is doing the hammering. And this is more especially useful for the 1mm wire. Shaped it very slightly and then placed it on the block. And again, we're going to do that hammering, similar to the figure of 8 clasp, just to work harden, and then if you want to add some texture. So I'm just going to do that now. Turn it over. That's enough just to work harden. Now I'm going to add some texture with some hammering, just to show you how you can hammer wire and flatten it and add beautiful textures. I'm slightly stroking it, as you can see. I'm stroking the wire with the hammer as you hammer it, and that helps keep the wire flat and without any dents. And turn over and do the other side. And I've created a dent there, which I just want to actually get rid of, and you can do that, so don't worry. Just stroke the hammer again and tap over the dent, and it should disappear.